where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome to the fourth and final review of Wave 1 of the Super 7 Transformers Ultimates figures. And we're doing, I kind of saved, I don't want to say the best for last, because I did the first one as Optimus Prime, and that was kind of like, I mean, how are they going to top that, really? I'm biased. I know, I'm biased with that. But we're doing BanzaiTron, or BanzaiTron, however you want to pronounce it. And BanzaiTron was a, not really Decepticon leader. I don't think he ever has made it to Decepticon leader. He has been one of the higher ranking Decepticons. He has been a Decepticon commander in some continuities of Transformers. But other than that, he's never really been like a super recognizable character, other than the fact that he was one of the original Action Master characters. And by that I mean he was a Action Master that was an original character to the Action Masters toy line. He wasn't a pre-existing Transformers character that they made into a non-transforming character. That's where he was introduced into Transformers for many fans. And I really love what Super 7 is doing with their line, especially when they're with the way they're covering some of the non-transforming Transformer characters. And it's really nice to have them in a decent size scale rather than like 3 3/4 like they originally released when the Action Master line came back or came out in the late 80s, early 90s. So I'm really happy that they got to an original character like BanzaiTron and created it to his original design and original integrity in this nice 7-inch scale, fully articulated form. And also his companion character that came with the original toy, Razor Sharp, the little scorpion that transforms into a gun for him, is packaged with him as well and does convert into his weapon mode like the original toy did. So also really cool. So, and that was kind of the neat thing about the Action Masters. While they either lacked the ability to transform or were incapable because of something that happened to them later in life and the fiction, it was really cool that they also came packaged with transforming weapons and accessories or vehicles. Really neat concept that I feel went underappreciated. So the front of the shipper box, just Transformers, BanzaiTron. No, he does not shout Banzai while he charges into battle. That would be cool. But no, he doesn't. I know the question's going to come up. He's in a nice metallic green. You got BanzaiTron right there. You got Decepticon on the side. You got BanzaiTron on the side. You got a green metallic Decepticon symbol on the back. I like how all 4 packages are different colors as far as the outer sleeves in this wave. On the back, we'll just go ahead and, since I already got it back facing, there's the tech specs for BanzaiTron. Again, like what they did with the Action Master Bombshell. If you haven't watched that review, go back and watch that review. It's a shame they didn't include tech specs for Razor Sharp at all, much like they didn't include tech specs for Little Needler at all that came with Bombshell. Kind of a shame that they didn't really include any details for those characters, because they are individual Cybertronian characters. They're not just drones or weapons, they're actual living Cybertronians. Or at least they've been expanded upon to be that in later Transformers media. On the front, there is BanzaiTron, awesomely displayed in the package. You got Razor Sharp in the back, the Action Master Transformers logo, BanzaiTron, his sword gun, swappable fists, all that good stuff. But that's pretty much it for the packaging. So here he is. He's looking awesome. I've always liked his design. I've always thought it was just kind of really cool looking, very samurai-esque. Not quite to the level of Bludgeon, who is one of my favorite, not only Decepticon characters, but one of my favorite Pretenders. And I'm really excited for Bludgeon in Wave 2. I'm so excited for Bludgeon in Wave 2. But I've loved his very samurai-esque looking design. It's always been really cool looking. And again, I'm just so happy that we now have a nicely scaled representation of this character in his original design aesthetic. And they, you know, since it wasn't Hasbro or Takara producing this, making it a non-transforming figure, Super 7 was really able to focus on creating him to that original design aesthetic without compromising it whatsoever to transform into some made-up mode that they had to come up with, because, you know, having to make it transform. So I'm glad Super 7 took a crack at this, and I hope they do more of the Action Master characters in the future waves of the Transformers Super 7 Ultimates line, because so far this line has been really awesome with the way they've represented some of the Action Masters that they have, and I just can't wait to see where they go from here, honestly. There are so many cool Action Master characters out there who have been recreated in modern Transformers lines here and there, and a lot of their design has been compromised in a sense due to that ability of, well, we can't put out a toy these days and make it not transform. So I'm glad that Super 7 isn't, what's the word I'm looking for, conforming to that and just pushing forward with these awesome non-transforming figures, especially when they're not supposed to, like this guy. So here he is, fully articulated. Head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders, single jointed elbows, wrists, waist, a slight ab crunch, fully articulated hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, and ankle joints. He does have swappable hands, so you can swap that out so he can hold his sword blaster. And while he's not quite as skilled as Bludgeon in martial arts, and there are Cybertronian martial arts, specifically Metallicado, which Bludgeon is a master of, he is a martial artist. And so you can have him wield his blaster rifle as a sword, like it was in the original toy. And they did a really good job recreating this from the original toy. There is a peg hole on here, and that's because it combines with razor sharp here into his larger gun mode. Now, I said this at the beginning of the review, and I guess I was mistaken because I actually hadn't taken out razor sharp and played with him at all. They did not, unfortunately, include the converting mechanic that razor sharp could do with the original toy, which is, it's kind of a shame, honestly. I'm a little disappointed because I know Super 7 is capable, and it's weird that while they did such an awesome job, they didn't do razor sharp all the way. They just kind of produced the solid piece for razor sharp and then stopped. So his claws are supposed to be removable because you're supposed to parts form him into a blaster rifle mode for BanzaiTron to wield. So these are supposed to end up top. This is supposed to fold out, and there's the gun barrel. I mean, they took the time to mold it. They just didn't take the time to, make this rotate forward, which is weird because usually Super 7 is always on point about recreating some of those original toys and toy mechanics in a nice detailed format. These are supposed to be able to come off, and they sit underneath, and then, he holds it. Now, you can still peg the blaster rifle onto the end and have a larger weapon. It's just going to sit further up on the arm and look kind of weird. And now he's got, I guess, a big shoulder weapon powered by a robot scorpion. Cool. I don't know. I'm just a little put off by that. Because I know Super 7's capable of doing it. I know they're capable of the quality and doing better, and it's just weird that everything here is really great, and I feel it has been recreated, in a sense, perfectly. And then they got to razor sharp, and I don't know, it just feels like they gave up. What's going on with this, Super 7? You guys are capable of better. You can do better. Maybe, because sometimes when something doesn't go right with an accessory or an ultimate piece, they have been known in the past to do a, what's the word I'm looking for here? Replacement part in case a piece is not quite right when it comes out. Maybe they'll fix Razor Sharp here and do a proper version of him to kind of make this whole thing work, because I feel like that eats into the value a little bit. The fact that in recreating it, where they nail it in so many other avenues and so many of their toy lines, they just fell so short of the mark here. Because I feel like that was a big part of the playability of the original BanzaiTron toy, and the fact that you can't do that here is kind of odd for how well Super 7 is known for just nailing it. So kind of a letdown in that sense. Other than that, the BanzaiTron figure alone is awesome. You got some really cool gestures where he's just kind of like, you know, doing the two finger thing. You've got like a swappable kind of like hand, like a more open grasping hand. You have a regular gripping hand for his left hand as well, so you can put his weapon in his left hand in case you want to have him wield his sword in the left hand and hold on to Razor Sharp in his right for some reason. Razor Sharp has pegs, but doesn't peg onto his back or anything, so that's kind of interesting that he has all these multiple pegs. He even has a peg up top, which really the only thing that interacts with that would be the back peg hole on the back of the blaster. But that just kind of looks weird, right? That looks weird. So you can give Razor Sharp his weapon, and he can hold on to it. Cool. I don't know. Just kind of odd. Still, overall, an awesome figure. Maybe because of this, I would argue that this is probably, in my opinion, the weakest of Wave 1 because of that right there. That's a shame. That should have been better, Super 7. And I'm sorry that it wasn't. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm just crazy here and going on about nonsense on this review. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And for comparison, here he is with all of the other figures in Wave 1 of the Transformers Super 7 Ultimates. I'm throwing stuff again. So here is Optimus. Here's BanzaiTron. Here is Bombshell. Here is Needler. See, they nailed it with Needler. Why didn't they do Razor Sharp stuff? And the Ghost of Starscream. So there you guys go. What do you think of Wave 1? What was the coolest figure in your opinion? What was the weakest figure in your opinion? Honestly, this was one of the ones I was most excited about, and pretty disappointed about this part. But overall, I think the figure is super cool. The initial BanzaiTron figure is really cool. My favorite figure here is Optimus Prime, just because of the special place in my heart that Optimus has. But I love this Ghost of Starscream figure, and I love the Bombshell figure with Needler too. So, what was your favorite figure out of Wave 1? Let us know in the comments. Stay tuned for other reviews here on Bay 12. We do all kinds of different reviews all the time here on Bay 12, as well as other Transformer reviews. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.